Yeah, welcome to this show. Today we're discussing the political developments in Nigeria. We've had several dramatic developments in Nigerian political system. Political parties held their primaries and have since concluded, and we've had a situation today where a federal high court in Lokoja decided to set aside its decision to order the Independent National Electoral Commission to register the NDC. And for all practical purposes, it does mean that the NDC may not be on the ballot, putting the ambitions of two prominent presidential hopefuls, that is Governor Peter Obi and Governor Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, in trouble. Now, people are wondering, how is the politics going to take place? What is going to happen in Nigeria with the current developments? Is the political space being shrunk by people who should actually be expanding the democratic space? With me to discuss these political developments in Nigeria today is my friend, political commentator, the Right Honorable Abubakar Chika Adamu, who was a commissioner in Niger State, a lecturer before, and we were together at the National Assembly in the 8th Assembly. Honorable Chika, you are welcome, sir.
Honorable Rimamnde, I'm glad to be with you on this program.
Let me ask an omnibus question. What is your comment about the current political situation in Nigeria?
Thank you, Honorable Rimamnde. Thank you, all the listeners. When you look at the political space in Nigeria, every day it is shrinking. Shrinking by people who don't believe in democratic doctrine. Judiciary is one of the key character that is causing all the confusions in the political space in Nigeria. We would not also remove the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who claimed in the past to be a Democrat, who claimed in the past to be fighting for democracy, but unknown to us that the man Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a Democrat in the morning and in the night he's a dictator. All this that is happening, you cannot remove him or take him away from it, because we have hands of people who clearly are undermining the judicial system, and the judicial executive are also following with keen interest, maybe because of some financial inducement or whatsoever. It will baffle you to see how the Nigerian judiciary is bringing out judgment that is countering what they have done in the past. Like you speak about the issue of setting aside of the registration of NDC by the Federal High Court Lokoja. The same court who made a judgment, I also did not agree with the judgment. They decided to order out of 14 parties that are seeking for registration or are qualified for registration with INEC, that INEC should register NDC. The first question I ask, why Federal High Court Lokoja? Why did NDC went to Federal High Court Lokoja? That is my first question. Why Lokoja? Two, now we can see, because the judgment is not a sincere one, or they are being teleguided, rather, because I don't expect any court that made such judgment should reverse itself. Even if that same judgment by law is supposed to be reversed, but it's supposed to be reversed by a higher court. But the same court to tell you that today's Nigerian judiciary is not a place where the common man or anybody will get justice. The court made a pronouncement, and the same court reversed itself, which is very unprecedented in the legal system in Nigeria. Honestly, Nigeria today, we do not know where we are going. When you look at recently, I think it was yesterday or day before yesterday, even INEC itself is complaining they have not gotten the fund that they will use in conducting the 2027 election, which by this time, I think they should have gotten some fund and get ready, know what to do. So honestly, we are not sure of the democracy that will exist by 2027. Maybe something else is coming up. Maybe we'll see how presidents all over the world in Africa then will wake up one day and say, I'm going to continue. Not necessarily your vote is immaterial. This is what I'm expecting from the dictator we have today in Nigeria.
Yeah, but calling him a dictator is surprising, because I do remember in the 8th Assembly, you were one of those who had worked for him to become president. I mean, you worked for him in your political party? Has there been any change, noticeable change from what he presented himself to you and what he is now that will make you come to that conclusion?
Well, let me be very frank with you and be frank to Nigerians. My relationship with Tinubu started when we supported Femi Gbajabiamila in the 8th Assembly to become the Speaker. After the election, and I did not do it because of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because I don't know him. But I think it is high time we speak the truth and say, keep the record straight. When Femi Gbajabiamila, we stood for him to stand for election. I think if you can recall, during the 8th Assembly election, I was the only person who even showed who I voted. I voted for Femi Gbajabiamila. And I even announced it, and I say it during the validation session when we are finishing our tenure as the 8th Assembly. I made it when you look at my validation session. I even told Dogara clearly I didn't vote for you. But however, I will tell you one thing, which not all knew. After the election, some of us, very few of us, Bola Ahmed Tinubu called us to thank us for standing for Femi Gbajabiamila. But I will tell you, I didn't support Bola Tinubu's election in 2023. And I will tell you what came up, why I didn't do it. After we stood for Femi, when we went to him, he thanked us. But one thing he told us, and I will repeat, and I'm not afraid of anybody, he said that henceforth, we should remove Femi Gbajabiamila out of our struggle. And what we need to do is we shouldn't allow the speaker to remain in peace, that we must continue the struggle. That when we came out, I talked to some of us, I don't want to call their name because maybe they don't want to be called there, or they don't want their name to be mentioned. I said, this man took us to be Malu, and where we'll be meeting regularly so that we can put APC party straight. At that time, he told us his problem with Oyegun and the crisis, how he supported, or how they made during the Nadeko era. Well, fine, he gave us all those stories. But as of today, up till today, the man did not fulfill the agreement that we are going to be meeting up to the time he looked for vice president. And that is why I told some people, this man is a liar. And therefore, me, I'm not going to go with him. And that is why you did not see me in the limelight of the 2023 election. I didn't participate because when the party decided to keep Bola Ahmed Tinubu, I did not see sincerity and I refused. I withdrew. I didn't leave the party then, but I was a member of the party, but I folded my arms. And therefore, for that reason, I'm not surprised what I'm saying when it comes to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I want it to be on record, I did not support his coming, even though I will have been on my mat every day doing istighfar, seeking for God's forgiveness.
Honorable, let's go back to the politics a little bit from the personal issues. From what you have seen of the political parties, the way they conducted their primaries, do you think that we can say our political parties and political leaders are ready to allow this democratic process to succeed?
Absolutely no. The democratic system, and as I told you earlier, the space has shrunk beyond anything. There is nothing going to be like democracy the way APC is doing today. They will never allow free and fair election. So anybody who is thinking today that this, let me even quote, Jega recently in the paper he presented very recent, he indeed talked about that there is not going to be any credible election if the Electoral Act is not amended. Some sections he gave out, some of the sections that need to be amended for us to have free and fair election. So if somebody who is as credible as Jega and somebody who knew election like Jega is trying to tell you that yes, there are aligned minds in the process of the election, then you will be able to know that the election is not going to be a free and fair election. It's not going to be a very palatable dinner for all of us as Democrats.
Yeah, but what you are saying will seem to discourage people who are participating, because if you are saying that the elections will not be free and fair, why should people be wasting their time? Appear to be discouraging people from participating in politics, for people from struggling, if you already believe that the elections will not be free and fair.
Yeah, but again, that does not mean we will not participate. But one thing is that we're alerting people. The citizens have to work harder to ensure it is done. I think the power of the people is more powerful than the people in power. So if all of us believe that something should be done. It is high time we start civil action before the election and ensure that the right thing is done. So I am not discouraging people, but the way it is, if we folded our arms and go this way, honestly, we should expect the worst that will happen. And the worst is that we cannot move at that period of time, and they will write what they want. The next thing is that all will regenerate civil action after somebody has declared himself a president, and then they will tell us go to court.
If you see what is happening in several parts of northern Nigeria, Zamfara, Kebbi, Sokoto, even parts of Plateau, Benue, and so forth, you can see that a lot of the areas are thriving with activities of bandits and terrorists and killers. We presume that those will affect the elections anyway, but what I want to ask is, do you see the possibility of these problems coming down before the elections?
Certainly, the crisis that we have is going to support the existing APC in trying to write the result. Because even myself and you, if we are asked to go to Zamfara, to go to Sokoto, to go to Kebbi and monitor election, we will not go. Because we have to be alive first before we can become nationalists. If we are dead, there is nothing about nationalism because we have nothing to report. So that has to be. So the space there has been manned by insecurity. People are dying every day, and the government is doing nothing. What I understand is that the government will use those who have died and then write the result as if they are alive, because we don't register dead. So those people who are dying are also in their grave voting for the existing APC. This is what I'm expecting. And it is going to give them a leeway, a free haven for them to be able to write the result, because nobody will be there unless those who will go with their security, and the security are going to support those who are APC, and those who are APC are going to do what they want with the result sheet.
Yeah, my problem with your analysis is that it sounds hopeless.
It sounds how?
Hopeless. Yeah, painting a hopeless situation.
The situation is hopeless. In fact, let me be very frank with you. It is high time that the current president should resign if to say he has credibility, because he cannot protect citizens, and therefore he cannot do any election as at this moment. In fact, you have to be secured. Citizens of the country have to be secured before you be able to run an election. And the way we are, I believe almost 30% of the North is not secured to conduct an election. That is true. Take the statistics. And at least, I'm just giving at least, and it could be more than. And therefore, whose child is going to that village and conduct an election? I knew, certainly I wouldn't allow my children to go to insecure place and then conduct an election. So who is going to conduct an election? Ordinarily, I want to tell you, the INEC officials who may be giving that result, and other people will just write what they want. Where APC is powerful, they will write it, and where other people are powerful also, they may corner them to write it. And that's the truth.
Okay, let's go to your state, Niger, especially where you come from, because there have been reports of recent of several bandit activities, and then we've even seen pictures of bandits riding motorcycles, moving in some areas that were said to be in Niger State. How do you assess the situation in Niger State today?
Honorable Rimamnde, the situation in Niger State is terrible. I'll be very frank with you. I cannot drive alone to my village. The last time I slept in my village was nearly 5 years ago. Kagara. My village is called Kagara on the Lagos-Kaduna axis highway. And Niger State, honestly, you may say the state capital is secured, but I want to tell you, quite a number. You go to Kontagora axis, zone C, they are not secured. You come to Niger State, zone B, we are not secured. A little bit secured area, which probably about 80% that is secured, I think is zone C, the Bidda zone. But apart from that, honestly, Niger State is a war zone. And I don't ask anybody to move there freely until he has some security to give him backup. You may move to Mina, which is the state capital. You may be free within the state capital. But away from that, I didn't guarantee you movement. So Niger State is in a terrible shape.
I saw some pictures that someone sent me from parts of Niger, and also complaining that some areas not far from where you come from had a situation where over 200 villages and settlements had been ransacked and are deserted because of the activities of these motorcycle riding non-state actors. So what is your assessment of those people? Is it true that it's because there are mines or they are mining in those areas that we have those kind of activities, or they are just part of the terrorism afflicting other parts of the country?
Okay, Amanda, let me be very frank with you and then give you a one practical story given to me by somebody. In terms of Niger State, honestly, yes, there are minor. In fact, it is in my previous, the constituency I represented in the 8th Assembly. That's the Shororo, Ifi, and Munya. Honestly, there is activities of miners there. And I believe also that also must have contributed, because what will baffle you is that somebody will tell me a foreigner, a colored person, so let me tell you, I don't want to call nationality, will be able to go to a place and move freely, but the citizen will be driven away. Now, what I realize is that it is deliberate. The bandits are also used as a tool to scare indigents who belong to that area to run away, so that the space of the mining will be very much available for those doing the illegal mining, because I can't call that legal mining. But somebody told me, well, it is illegal mining. Some people were given license by the federal government, but the indigents stopped them because of one reason or the other, because they are going to call environmental degradation, and the government will not do anything about it in the future. So the indigents decided to stop them. But however, what we realize, what I heard is that there is likelihood that those people are using the bandit to scare them away, and they pay the bandit. What does the bandit want? First, what the bandit want is the bandits are not like the Boko Haram. The bandits want money. You understand? So they kill for money. They drive you away and kill you for money. It is the religious extremists like the Boko Haram, Jamaatul, whatever their name is. They are the ones that probably are a little bit religious in terms of their religion, you cannot get it because they don't practice real Islam. Whether it is misconception of religion or whatever it is called, they are the ones that do something in the name of religion, but the bandit do something in the name of money. And I believe this bandit I use at the mining site, certainly, because I asked somebody, there's a boy who works for me. So we're having discussion. He told me he went to this area and worked, but this is part of Kaduna State. So he was telling me, did you know, in his presence, he said he saw some Fulani boys. He went to one area to work, that because they are saying that there's deer. So the Fulani don't touch people, what they say, but they will ask, where are you from? And they will leave you. What do you come to do? They will leave you. So they become another state actor or another government in government. So he told me in his presence, one of Fulani saw one lady that he liked this lady, he will go with her. And that was when the problem started. The people disagree, though they were disagreeing when the lady even ran away. And I asked him, okay, let me ask you, did you call that name of some people that all this one that said he's not the father of whoever he knows? He said the government, no. I said, okay, let me ask you, do they have solar in their houses? I just decided to ask him that question. He said, of course they have solar electricity. Their houses are not. So as far as I'm concerned, the government is not interested in solving this situation because they know it, they know where they are, they knew everything. The government knew everything. I will not exonerate the government. Because if people who goes for manual work, they're electricians, they went to some villages to work, they see them living peacefully. Why won't the government know them? So they know them. They don't want to do it.
Oh, they even hire electricians from town to set up things for them. That is interesting.
For me, no. Yeah, they set up things for them because they have solar electricity. He was giving me the story. They have solar electricity.
Let me ask you two questions before we round up. Now, on security, what hope, if you were to tell the president what to do now so that we solve this problem about security, what are the things and steps that you advise him to take?
Well, if I will tell the president, the only thing is for the president to come out and walk and visit those areas himself. Any president who will remain in the villa, he will not even discuss with the people. Look at what the mess that took place in Plateau State. Some people were killed in Plateau State. The president, just like His Royal Highness or an emperor, decided to just stop at the airport for the people to be called upon and for him not to even visit inside. This is just. He cannot leave the airport telling you that the airport that he is supposed to provide everything to, that there is no electricity. And therefore, maybe he is in a hurry that they have to call the people. and he see them in the airport. This is a mess. So if that is the way he will do, he can't solve this problem. You can only build confidence in people when you relate with the security, you relate with the people, you hear from them. That's when you make a judgment. But if you think staying in the villa for somebody to give you stories is that which you will work with, and you will not visit the places, you can't solve our problem. That is the truth. When things happen everywhere in the world, we see how the world president, even if they are outside their country, they will visit that place and immediately they will boost the morale of the officers on the ground because the officers know that they are committed. But if you think you will be given to orders from one order to the other until it reaches the 10th person to execute, honestly, you can't get it right because as it is descending, it is being modified. And at the end of the day, they will tell you just man your place. Don't move. That's what it will tell you.
Okay. And finally, on politics, what is your projection about the aftermath of the current situation with political parties? The way political parties, we look at the primaries of nearly all the parties have produced several dissatisfied candidates. How do you think this will pan out?
Well, I think assuming all is well, people will not concentrate on political parties in the 2027 election. The citizens will have to choose between the beans, the chaps, and the rice that is also mixed all together. The stone may be thrown away where the beans is more conspicuous. You feel you want to, you pick, and then where you feel it is the rice that also will be better, you will take. But however, my problem is that I don't know, and I don't even understand. To be very frank with you, even political timetable that existed in Nigeria. You can recall, next say this as a regard to when submission of names will be made, and then you realize also a court says something. But also when you go deep into the political parties, up till now, they are amending their list because the primaries were not conducted properly. It's not about even financial inducement. No, just like you started earlier, you will see in the most of the primary, and I don't say APC alone, almost all the parties, let's be sincere, the primaries were not conducted fairly and credibly. And you realize some places they deny other people, they write what they want. Some places they will start counting 1, 2, 3, 10, and then they will move to 80, they will move to 150. It happened across all the parties. So all the parties have not done very well. All of them. So I don't know if citizens would now look at it from the perspective I talked earlier, look at in this party, this is good, in this party, this is bad, in this party, this is good, and then make judgment. But will the election be a credible one? That is the big question, and that is the nightmare I always wake up with.
In the last few minutes, we have been speaking with my colleague and political commentator now, Honorable Abubakar Chika Adamu, originally from Niger State and working today as a private citizen in Kaduna. Thank you very much for the time you spent with us today.
Thank you very much, Honorable Rimamnde, for having me. And I will continue to be very fair and honest in every judgment or every public appearance if the opportunity is given.
Thank you very much. Pleasure having you.